Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while, I know, but I'm here again with another book haul. I think I've gotten 15, maybe 16 books. Majority of these books were from the Cherry Blossom shipment. However, there are a few from different areas or from different locations, which I will share with you shortly. The way that this video is going to be structured will be as follows. I'll tell you a book. I have them in a random stack. So I'll tell you the book, from where did I get it, the Goodreads rating, a summary of the book, and why I decided to buy it. Just to prove to you that I'm not just buying books for the sake of buying books, but I'm buying books because I want to read them. It's life that is standing in my way of reading more books. Also because I am a slow reader. I know I've mentioned this before. And sometimes it's becoming bothersome because I wish I could consume more books. But I'm doing my best. I'm trying. And at least I'm reading. So that's good news, I guess. Let's start with the book I'm most excited about, which is Air by Sabat. People say Sabat Tahir, but I think it's Sabat Tahir. Sabat Tahir, if I'm going to pronounce that in Arabic. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. But anyway, Air is the book that I am most excited about. It's the one that I'm really looking forward to picking up really soon. But I just want to have some uninterrupted reading time so that I can devour this book. I love this cover and I'm looking forward to reading this book. Although, what is it called? I have them right here. Let me check. Where are they? Yeah, An Ember in the Ashes. Although An Ember in the Ashes wasn't one of my all-time favorite books, however, it's a book that I really enjoyed, especially the story of Helene. She was my favorite character. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Air is the new novel of the author of Ember in the Ashes. And currently it has a rating of 4.38. I'm very excited to pick this one up. I do enjoy her writing a lot. I did enjoy it in The Ember in the Ashes, a story of an orphan, an outcast, and a prince. And the summary basically is that beloved storyteller Sabat Tahir interweaves the lives of three young people as they grapple with power, treachery, love, and the devastating consequences of unchecked greed on a journey that may cost them their lives and their hearts, literally. And I don't want to know more. I know I said that I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book, but I don't like to go into more details because I like to go into my books as knowing as little as possible. I just search for some keywords, and if the keywords check for me, then I get the book and I invest the time reading it. So let's check underneath the dust jacket. First of all, I really love this cover. I think it's a wonderful, beautiful cover. I really like the art design. And underneath the dust jacket, we have this printed directly onto the hardback. It's very nice, as well as a map. I don't know, on both end papers. Yeah, on both end papers. Next, we have The 13th Child, which is a YA novel. It's also a fantasy novel, I think, with a twist of romance and as well as horror or maybe gothic. At least these are the tags that I can see here. And I'm very excited to pick this one up. It's been on my radar for a little while. It's by Erin Craig, and this is the very first book of hers that I pick up. I hope it does not disappoint because it's promising too much and it has a lot of the buzzwords that I like. So I do hope that it doesn't disappoint. And to give you a quick blurb, this is the story of Hazel, a young healer navigating a ruthless court to save the life of the king. Grappling with the pantheon of gods with questionable agendas as she fights for agency and true love in her own life as the goddaughter of none other than Death himself. All gifts come with a price. So that's basically it. I think she has these healing abilities, and I think she will have to make impossible choices about whether to follow Death or to actually heal the people and save them. So very excited for this one, and it currently has a rating of 4.19, which is promising. So underneath the dust jacket, I just checked after I stopped filming, and then I realized that no, this requires a moment to check out. I had no idea that this is underneath the dust jacket. It just looks, although it's too much for my taste, but however, the spine does look gorgeous. So this is wonderful. And we have nothing in the end papers. Next, we have Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. And this has been on my radar for almost a year. It was published originally in the UK first, and then this is the American edition. So I'm very happy that I have this one. It's been a while since I read a good middle grade. Actually, that's a lie because I did pick Roald Dahl books and I'm starting to enjoy them. However, it's been a while since I picked something that's recent, and I'm very excited. It has a gorgeous design, as you can see. Really beautiful, gorgeous edition, and it has these red sprayed edges. And let's check. Ooh, so underneath, we have plenty of beautiful things to watch out for. So this is underneath the dust jacket. We have a golden dragon. It looks so beautiful, as well as a gorgeous map on the end papers. I think it's the same on both end papers. Gorgeous edition. I'm so in love. This is so cool. This book currently has 4.17 rating on Goodreads, which is also, again, awesome and promising. And reading a little bit of the blurb, basically it follows the story of Mal and Christopher, who embark on a wild adventure, racing from island to island, searching for someone who can explain why the magic is fading and why magical creatures are suddenly dying. They consult sphinxes, battle krakens, and negotiate with dragons, but the closer they get to the dark truth of what's happening, the clearer it becomes. No one else can fix this. If the archipelago is to be saved, Mal and Christopher will have to do it themselves. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Looks like it's going to be lots of fun and adventures and meeting of lots of magical creatures. So there's nothing that I don't like about this. So excited to pick this one up as well. Next, I have this gorgeous edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray. It looks gorgeous. So I'm very happy to have added that to my collection. So it's been a story that I've been wanting to read for a little while. I don't know much about it. All I know is that it has this kind of, I think it's magical realism, if I'm not mistaken. It's a classic, of course, but I think the main premise is that there's Dorian Gray, who is vain. I'm assuming he's vain, and he will want to maintain or keep his youth. And in return, his portrait ages, and it showcases this kind of deterioration of his soul. And yeah, although he's gonna remain beautiful and youthful, however, his soul as he is growing older is gonna deteriorate and go into ruin. So I think it's gonna show this struggle between, I don't know, vanity and internal beauty. I'm not really sure, but I know that everyone who read this loved it, and I'm excited to pick this one up. Forgot to mention that this has more than 1.5 million reviews and the average rating of 4.13. So I'm very excited to read this one as well. And I hope that it is as thought-provoking as classics tend to be. Okay, yeah. So next we have Fear the Flames, which is, I was on the fence whether to buy it, yes or no, because I haven't been lucky with romantasy lately. And this is marketed as romantasy. However, the more that I read about the blurbs and the more that I read about the story, I became more interested in it because it talks about the story of a queen who has connections with 5 dragons that actually kind of like protect her kingdom. And as I was reading, it gave me a little bit vibes of Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, maybe a dash of Throne of Glass. So I'm excited because if this is executed well, it's going to be wonderful. But if it is mediocre, it's going to be horrible and I'm going to hate it. So I decided to take a risk, and hopefully, because if it's good, it's going to be good. I'm not expecting a 5-star read, but I want to expect some good time, especially during a time when I can't have, or I don't have enough brain power to power through a heavy book. So that's why I got this one. It currently has, ouch, 3.94 rating. For a new book, this is not such a great rating. There's nothing on the naked heart paper with the map and a dragon. Find a way to defy death itself to keep you here. We have a deal. I have no idea what that means, but anyway. So this is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. Let me know if you've read it and loved it. Another book that I wasn't, again, I don't know whether I should have gotten it. I shouldn't. So the book I'm talking about is Bright Haven. Blood Over Bright Haven. Okay, so that was a longer title. Blood Over Bright Haven by ML Wang. So this is the person who wrote Sword of Kaigen. And I started reading Sword of Kaigen, but I lost interest in the first 3 pages. And I said maybe I was just not interested. And my best friend, whom we have a very good or very similar reading taste, she hated it. So I was like, do I take a risk? Yes or no? It's a different style. It's dark academia. And I have some dark academias that are hits and others that are miss. So anyway, I decided to get it. And again, I hope it doesn't disappoint. I do love this edition so much. It's a gorgeous design. You have the red sprayed edges. I don't know if there's anything underneath the dust jacket. So we have nothing underneath the dust jacket. However, we do have a wonderful end papers, again, with a map. And it's the same on the other side. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic with this one because I have hits and misses with dark academia. The only dark academia that I truly love, and by the way, it's not a beloved book, but it did work for me, was The Last Graduate, or what was it called? Deadly Education. So I really like this series, although I gave it 4 stars, but I really like it and I still remember parts of it. So, and it was one of the things that I like. I do like school settings, so Let's hope that this does not disappoint. I know that ML Wang is a beloved author. Hopefully we click. That's my hopes for it. So I just checked Goodreads. Basically, it says standalone dark academia, which is wonderful. I did not know it was standalone, so that's good news. Standalone dark academia brimming with mystery, tragedy, and the damning echoes of the past for fans of Lee Bardugo, V.E. Schwab, and Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't watch Full Metal Alchemist. I know nothing about it. I read a book by Lee Bardugo that I loved, The Familiar. And V.E. Schwab, she's a hit or miss depending on the book that she's writing, because her books are very different. So we're optimistic, because also the rating is 4.45. So that's such a high rating for such a newly published book. So let's hope that it maintains and keeps this high rating. Next, we have Aesop's Fable, which is something I've been wanting to read for 3 years now. Since one time during one of my sessions, I had to use one of these stories as a lesson, and I was very interested to read more of it. And the lovely thing about this book is that it has approximately 284 of these short stories that has very meaningful, powerful messages. And also, this is a very nice edition. I got this one from Bibliothèque. It has a very, I don't know if it's showing on the camera, but it has this kind of embossed design, as well as these beautiful end papers and gilded edges. And within there's also some illustrations for the novels. So I am excited to read this one. I already started reading a little bit of it, and I am enjoying it so far. Some of them are a little bit on the nose and like too juvenile, but some of them, they're really meaningful, and they they offer a very strong, hard-hitting message in such a simple way. So this is Aesop's Fables. Very tiny, very cutesy, and I'm happy I have this copy. It's under the oak tree, and this is it. It's a graphic novel. It has some wonderful art within. I really, really like the art within. I don't know if it's showing. It has some really nice art. I've already read this one. I gave it 4 stars. It was good times. It was fun times. I actually enjoyed it so much and wanted to know more that I started reading the novel of the book, but I'm not enjoying it. And I can see major problems as I'm reading it. I thought it was good, but no, I think I'm gonna stop, and I'm just gonna stick to the graphic novels for now. But this is fun time, no-brainer. Can finish this in a day. It's enjoyable, it's funny, it's cheesy, and just don't go in don't overthink it. Don't be analytical. Just go in for the good times, and just skim over the things that you find problematic. It is a romantasy, and it leans more heavily towards the romance than the fantasy aspect. But I think as the story unfolds, fantastical elements. And I think we're going to see some major character development with our protagonist. I really hate him. I don't like him at all at the moment. But I am interested in our main character. I just read this yesterday. Why don't I remember the names? Just let me remember. Maxie. Yeah, Maxie. So I really like Maxie and her story. And I really like the sorcerer, or the magician, or the mage, or whatever we call him, whose name is Ruth. I really like him as well. I do not like our main character. So let's see how this story unfolds. I read this, loved it, and looking forward to part 2 next year, inshallah. By the way, yes, I just checked. It has 4.36 ratings on Goodreads. So again, good ratings. I got myself a copy of The Hunger Games. Although I do have the trilogy, I couldn't miss out on the illustrated edition, because as I've told you, I'm trying to encourage more people to read, especially my nephews and nieces, and I think that this could be a good way to engage the older audience other than the younger ones. So I got this edition because Hunger Games is although I first time I'm gonna say this, I love the movies more than the books, and I've watched the movies before I actually read the books. Maybe that's the reason. But I think it's such a powerful story, and it's worth telling, and it's worth actually talking about and discussing, given the current state of the world. So it's all black and white art, but it is really a nice art. And I'm excited to have this one, or to add this one to my collection. I'm just trying to search for another. I think it will add another layer to the story, having this or having these illustrations. Is the underneath the dust jacket. I did not know that. So this is also a very nice design underneath the dust jacket. So I'm very happy I added this to my collection, and I hope that they do all 3 books and not just the first one. So because I think I've just been doing so much talking, and I'm losing light, and I've already been facing troubles filming during winter. So I'm just going to go through the rest very quickly without going through the ratings or the rest. You can simply just Google them. So I think it's very sad that I'm going to say this. I don't know anything about this book. All I know is that it's a classical fantasy and I cannot not read it. As a fantasy lover, it's not possible for me not to read it. So this is The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch, and all the booktubers and YouTubers that I do follow who've read it loved it. So I decided to pick this one up, especially since it's a beautiful floppy paperback. And I do like the design as well. So I got this one. Very Deep by Naomi Novik, and this is a collection of short stories, and the only reason why I got this is because I really enjoyed my time with Deadly Education. Although I find her writing usually is boring, but her ideas are so cool and they stay with you. So I decided that maybe when the writing is compact in short stories, she would present something that's brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So this is just printed directly onto the hardback, so it's an interesting cover, and there's nothing else that's special about it. So this is it, Naomi Novik. And also this is good when I am stuck and wanting to read something, but I'm unable to commit to a big story or a big trilogy. Next, I've also gotten Wisteria, which is book 3 of the Belladonna. I don't know if the name is Belladonna, but anyway, of the Belladonna series. So once again, I was waiting for this one so that I can read all of them once more. It's a signed edition. So this is underneath the dust jacket. This is what it looks like. And this is the end papers art. So these are two different. This is really nice. I really like the end papers, and I like when they're different. And it's also signed, so this makes my trilogy complete, and all of them are signed. I read Belladonna and it was enjoyable, but I did not continue with the series. So now that I have all 3 books, I can binge them back to back, and I think now is a very good time to start the series. And I also got Bridgerton books 4, 5, and 6 to continue my collection, or to complete my collection. So this is books 5 and 6, Eloise and Francesca. And Francesca was one of my favorite stories, as well as Hyacinth and Gregory. Hyacinth was fun, but I did not read Gregory's story yet, so now I have a copy and the book to read it. I also got Witches by Roald Dahl, and I've been trying to pronounce that for the last few minutes. And I'm reading, this is the book that I'm currently reading with my nephews and nieces in my reading party. We've read The Twits, and now we're reading this one, and we're loving it. It's so much fun. We've only read, I think, around 30 pages, and we are looking forward to continue reading this one. It's so fun, and I did not imagine that I can have so much fun with children's books. So this is so much fun, and I really like it. And it has illustrations within, and it's just good time. So I got this one from Amazon. Unfortunately, it came slightly damaged from Amazon Egypt, by the way. It came slightly damaged, so be careful when you are ordering books, because probably they will not come in a pristine condition. And last but not least, because I'm trying to keep some plants alive as surrounding me, you don't have to see them, but I got How to Keep Your Plants Alive. So this one I got also from Bibliotech, and within it, it just explains to you the process of how to keep some of these plants alive. And since I have 3 different plants that I'm keeping alive for now, which is great news, and I have one that is surviving and one that is dying. So I'm trying to know more about plants and gardening, because it's really enjoyable and very therapeutic, and it's good to see these trees bloom and unfurl, and the leaves, and to see them growing and blooming. It's so much fun. So that's why I got this book, to know more about the topic. So that brings this book haul to an end. Wow, I'm impressed. I did not imagine that I would be doing all this talking, or that it's going to take me that long to go through them. Hope that you've been buying books as well and reading them, not just like me buying them. And that's it. It's been a while. I'll try to come with more content. I want to talk to you about The Familiar and talk my in-depth thoughts about it. I also want to talk about my most recent reads. I have a knitting project coming up that I want to share with you. And I have updates about work. I have things I want to do. I just don't have the time to do them. So if you have any ideas about that, please let me know. Let me know what are the recent books you've been purchasing, and what books are you looking forward to till the end of the year. I hope you had a good time. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. See you in my next video. Bye.